Okay, so today we are talking about how you can make an extra $10,000 per year. Now you may be saying, well, that's got to be hard, and it is, but I'm going to give you a few ideas, but also I'm going to give you an easy way of actually doing it. So let's actually get down and let's check this out. Okay, so here we have $10,000. If you divide that by 12, what you actually get is around $833 per month. Now, you may be saying, well, how can I actually make all of that money? Now, this can be, for most people, life-changing amounts of money. But what I'm telling you today is this can be easy depending on your situation, and it could be a bit harder also depending on your situation as well. So first off, what are some ways that we can make an extra $833 a month? Well, we could invest our money, but that takes a lot of capital and, of course, some knowledge. If you were to invest in something like ZWK, that's currently sitting at around a 7% dividend, what you would need to actually have to make that $833 a month, which would be about 4,630 shares of ZWK, this is a lot of money, but which would be around $143,000. Now, most of us don't have this kind of money to invest, so what are some other ways that we can make this $833 a month? Well, another way could be YouTube. And depending on your situation, you would have to then get 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. Now, this, for some people, can take anywhere from 3 months to about 5 years. That's how long it can take to make that much of a following. So for some people, this may be out of reach at first. It really does depend on how much time you can devote to, of course, running a YouTube business, really making no money at all at first. However, to make $833 a month, all you would really need to have is between 80,000 views, depending on your channel, to about 800,000 views. It really does depend on your channel. So, for example, my basketball channel would need around 100,000 views to get that much money, or my investing channel would need about 70-ish thousand views to get that much money. However, that would be the average amount of views that you would need to make $830 a month. Another way could be, of course, scrapping. And you can really make a lot of money really fast when you're scrapping steel and metal and things like that. But the main idea of what I'm trying to get to right now is to try and break down how you can make that much money, $10,000, over the year. And essentially, it does come down to how much value you can really give to somebody or people in general. And that is essentially how much you could potentially make. However, at the same time, you can find anything to really do to make that much money per month. $10,000 a year doesn't seem that you're able to do that very easily, but when you start breaking it down to monthly or even weekly, can you make an extra $200 a week? That's not really all that much if you think about it. So if you are very, very good at, let's say, a video game, let's say you're really good at NBA 2K, something that I've noticed that is not around my area, but is actually happening in the States, is people will actually start up not a basketball training company like I did. What people are starting up now is video game training companies. This is a whole new segment of the market that is not happening up here just as of yet, and it's kind of come into my mind that I could start something like that on the side, but I'm getting just way too busy with YouTube and my own basketball training and my video creation for companies and real estate agents, and I do a lot already. But for people who are just starting out, who are, let's say, younger, who are very good at NBA 2K or maybe Madden NFL, you could go out and conceivably start your own video game training company. Obviously, you would want to have a YouTube channel to show that you're actually any good at the game. You would want to have an Instagram account showing off how good you are in the game as well. And then, what you can do is, of course, then have a website, which if you go with a company like Yola, which this is not sponsored, but it costs me about $40 a year for a website. And then from there, you can use your home address as your business address, and which is what I do. And then on top of that, you are now found in search easier because you're on Google Maps. And then you can be found on Google search with, of course, your website and your address. You can be found on Instagram. You can be found on YouTube. And people will start really following you. For one, obviously, you can make money on YouTube eventually. But right away, you can have the initial cash flow of using your time to create money, which would then be you teaching kids or adults how to play video games. So, for example, to do something like that, I could conceivably guess that you could probably make, by going out to people's houses and teaching their kids or themselves video games, how to play them better, maybe between $40 and $80 an hour. Now, when you start really breaking that down, let's say on average $50 an hour, that's only 4 clients a week. That's only 4 hours of your time per week devoted, and you now make $800 a month, which gets you close to that $10,000 a year range. It's really not that hard when you start trying to be creative. We have to remember that video games is now becoming a sport. It's called esports. And there's going to be more and more people who want to become good in video games, who then want to, of course, become a pro. You could teach them that. You don't necessarily have to be good at the game. You just have to have the knowledge on how to be good. And you can teach that. You can teach it online. You can do online courses. You can do in-person classes. And you can really scale up from there. There's so many different ideas, and what I'm also trying to say is, of course, breaking down that big gigantic number. Let's say, for example, you really wanted to make an extra $1 million a year. Now, that would obviously take time, but you can build up to that. But break it down to months, break it down to weeks, break it even down to days. And if you can do that, then you're going to be very successful. Also, on top of that, be creative. Find ways that you can make money to bring, of course, value to somebody. There's so many different ways. If you were ever good at any sports, you can conceivably be a trainer in that sport. Obviously, there's going to be trainers around your local area who may have played professionally. There may be trainers who may have played at the college level, and you're going to be competing with them, but you would have to price yourself lower than them. At the same time, you would also be looking at what is not in your area yet. So for example, my area, like I was mentioning, there's no video game trainers around here. Video games are now becoming a pro sport, and because of that, there's going to be a lot of kids who want to say that they want to be pro esports players. That is now a thing. So try to be creative in how you can make your extra $833 a month. And then take that money you make, invest it, so now you're investing in your business, you're investing in stocks, maybe in real estate or whatever else you want to do, but have multiple lines of income so that now, if your job is gone, you still have income coming in. If you lose one source, you still got money coming in. And then eventually the end goal is to then obviously leave your job, because most jobs suck and most managers suck. And then you can, of course, live off your invested income, and then of course live off of your own business. Anyways, I hope that this video has helped you, of course, make an extra $10,000 a year. I hope that you've enjoyed. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys again next time.